we all inevitably face at some point. And it's when there's a person who might be friendly, maybe they're decent overall, but the connection with that person just feels unbalanced and one-sided. You might show an interest in them, ask them questions about themselves, but this is not returned. And what I do in this situation, and what I teach other people to do, I would call kind-hearted detachment. So, there's two things that you don't want to do. One thing is keep giving to that person who's giving you nothing back, because that's going to drain you. It's going to build resentment. It's going to feel like you're compromising yourself, your energy just being swallowed up by this person. So to continue and agree to an unbalanced relationship, that doesn't seem fair on you. So that is one extreme. The other extreme would be to actively build hostility and anger towards that person and not engage with them. And again, this isn't much fun. It doesn't feel nice to carry tension, dislike towards another person. So what is the solution? So kind-hearted detachment, this is where you still hold good vibes towards the individual, but from a distance. You're not going to give energy where it's not returned, but you don't dislike them as a person overall. When people do this, it doesn't mean that you're a low value person, you're not enough. It usually is a them problem. They're not able to reach you where you're at. They're not able to be as open as you are when it comes to connecting with people. It could be that they've had a past situation that made them feel bitter, something that they've never overcome, never fully forgiven. So because of that, they have an unbalanced relationship with life itself. It's nothing to do with you. They're projecting their past experiences into the present moment, and they have this bias lens. They're biased towards themselves. I wrote down a few points on some paper that I think are worth mentioning. So one thing is that it's completely fine to budget your energy. If I'm giving to someone else and they're giving back, it's fair and equal. Doesn't drain me, but if the person's hot and cold, it's one-sided, it's unbalanced, then of course over time that would drain me. You only have a certain quota of energy every single week. You don't have infinite energy. It's limited. What that means is you have to choose how to spend it wisely. And when you budget your energy, you realize that when it's one-sided individuals, it's literally wasted. It'd be like you wasting money on something which you get no value from. But when it's people who appreciate you as a person, clients, friends, family members, just warm, kind, good people, it's completely different. So spend where you're going to get back rather than wasting your energy. One thing that I wrote down is the shift from expectation to observation. So you can't necessarily expect a mutually good vibe from everyone that you speak to. That would be super nice, but isn't reality. That doesn't mean you can't start by assuming positives and giving out good vibes, but it means that it's also important to observe and shift. So if you notice that you're giving energy to somebody, positive, friendly, warm vibes, they're not giving much back, you've observed that, you've clocked it, it just means that you're going to give that person less. Redirect your energy towards people who are actually ready and willing to receive it. Otherwise, it's wasteful, waste of your time, and that's not fair on you. So I do always have positive assumptions about people that I meet. I assume the best, unless proven otherwise. Well, that's the key. I'm also observing as well, and if I notice that they're not giving me back, it's just one sided, then I'm going to give them less and prioritize the people who are reciprocating. Another little point that I mentioned here: it's completely fine to wish people well from a distance. Because you don't want to carry those negative vibes, that negative energy towards other people. You've probably heard that saying, hate weighs heavy on the heart. And it's totally true. When I look at the spectrum of clients that I've coached, the ones that have hated the most people, they've been the heaviest. You can see it near the eyes, the cheeks. There's just a heaviness about some people. So it is true that hate does weigh heavy on the heart. So it's not about building resentment towards people who are not reciprocating what you're giving to them, because that's a loss for you. And it's not fair in you to make someone else's weakness and limited capacity a loss for you. The win is to say, okay, they're probably a good person at heart, well-intentioned, deep down at the core. They're not a bad person overall, but they're not able to meet me at my level. So my conversations with this person, they can be cordial, friendly, respectful, but I'm not going to be giving them the energy, asking them questions, how they're getting on, remembering things from conversations, and building a connection, because the dynamic is just not going to grow much further. And that's okay. A phrase I heard from a guy on YouTube years ago that comes to mind is that you're not supposed to be a social chameleon, be able to fit in every environment, blend in, and get on with every person at a 10 out of 10 level. It's not possible. It's not meant to be that way, and that's okay. I like to think that in general, I can get on well with pretty much everybody. Pretty much. Let's say that's close to the truth. But it's not going to be 10 out of 10 with every person, because that's not possible. And if someone's not willing to meet you at your level, that's okay. You just give more space between yourself and that person, still friendly, but you give less. So there is a karma, there is a fairness going on here. Everyone likes that law of reciprocity and fairness. Getting back what you put in just feels good, feels right. And actions should have consequences. And the consequence for someone not giving back good energy to you, when you're doing the same to them, means that they lose out on the value that you would have otherwise provided to them. The enhancement you would have given to their life is something that they miss out on. And something that I've realized from just being a good, helpful person over the years and um, trying to give a lot of value out to the world, put a lot of good karma out there, is that every single person has the potential to be super valuable in your life and give a lot when they're given the proper chance. It's amazing the unexpected value that I personally received from people over the years. People that I might have naively thought didn't have the ability to help me out, they have helped me out. So my mindset's changed over the years. Everybody has so much value that they can provide to your life, or everybody has that potential. But not everyone out there is going to understand that. So don't let other people suck you into their drama. You don't need to carry negative energy because someone's being hot and cold with you, being weird. Just withdraw the value. Still have good vibes towards them as a person. Probably not a bad person. It's probably their past, a reflection on them. It's them projecting, them not realizing the value that you're giving them and appreciating that. And it just means that you're redirecting that towards other people that genuinely appreciate it. And that's an amazing boundary. And kind-hearted detachment, I think, is the perfect term for that. You're not emotionally involved, you're detached, but you still wish them the best in their journey. This means that they have no ability to affect your enjoyment of life, but also you're not out there going out of your way to give to that person who definitely would not do the same back. Another point that I wrote down, which I think is a sound point, protecting your energy frees you up for the right people. So it's probably the case for you watching, listening to this video right now, that there's people in your life that you care about. And if you see them happy, in good spirits, enjoying life, that boosts you up, makes you feel good. And if you see them suffering, struggling, that would make you feel bad. If that's the case for you, it's also the case the other way around, where they want to see you in a good place. What that means is that it's not selfish or wrong to look after yourself, protect your energy, keep yourself in this great mental space, physical, psychological, spiritual space. It's actually kind to yourself and other people to do this. There's no guilt or shame in allowing yourself to feel as good as possible. It's actually the kindest thing to do. And when you start wasting energy on people that aren't returning what you're giving to them, you're going to have so much more to give to the right people, and you're going to have that energy within yourself that's going to affect people around you. So it's just best for the people in your life that you care about and the world in general to protect your own energy and not waste it. And some of these skills, they're things that I've learned over the years. Everyone's been learned from doing things the wrong way, getting frustrated with people, and then developing better communication skills that bypass this frustration. And whenever something bothers you, there's always something you can learn from that experience to tweak it and to change in future and receive a different outcome. And the lesson can simply be that I don't waste my energy on people who don't return it, which means I have more energy to give to people that appreciate it, and it makes my life better, and it's fair as well. You're getting what you're putting out there, and they're getting what they're putting out there. We live in a mirror universe, getting back what we put out, and when that happens, it feels fair. So you're not overextending yourself, but you're still giving when you're going to get something back. So it's that fair, balanced dynamic rather than a one-sided relationship. And it's about leveling up and knowing how to deal with these difficult situations. And of course, life would be so easy if everybody was a great person, easy to get on with, not difficult. But the reality is that there's a variety of different personality types out there and dynamics. Things are messy at times. But what really matters, in my opinion, is you having that unshakable confidence and resilience where you can feel good no matter what kind of people you're around. You know how to navigate these different situations. You feel empowered in yourself, and you can bring your best self to the right people. You don't want social situations to feel like a battle. You want them to be something which you actually enjoy. And something that is really important in coaching that I help clients with is called agency. What this means is helping people realize how much control they have in their own life. You don't need to waste energy on people who aren't going to give it back. That's fine. You get to define what success is on your terms. You don't need to please other people. Other people don't need to understand what is success to you because you know what it is. Whether they understand or not is independent of the point. You don't owe them justification. All these things help people feel more free, feel empowered, and live a better life. And this was something that used to really bug me when I was younger, especially when I started university. I didn't know how to deal with people who were just hot and cold. And I'd come across that quite a lot when I was 18, 19. People who were best friends with me one minute, then ignoring me on another day. And it was just so up and down, so flippant. And I thought, what do I do with these people? I didn't know what to do back then. So I was just disengaged from them all the time, just avoiding them at all costs, because there's that unpredictability. But now I navigate things a lot better, and if someone's hot and cold, I just find the middle ground that suits me. Kind-hearted detachment, cordial. I don't engage them in the really long, deep conversations because I know that that person can be hot one minute and cold the next. So I do what feels empowering for me. You can do the exact same thing as well. So you need that detachment to protect your energy. And you need to maintain those good vibes so that you carry yourself lightly. And really holding bad vibes, fear, anxiety, limiting beliefs. These are all things that hold you back from unlocking your most confident best self. When you can do this, you're basically unstoppable. And something which I can add in here before closing this live stream is that it's also really useful to have tools Go to tried and tested tools for when you're frustrated with people and you want to boost your mood, process things, feel better. Amazing tool for anybody is running, exercising. So simple, but when you exercise consistently on a long-term basis, it changes a person. It's this experiential journey, something that you can't quite put into words. But I know from the people I've coached and my own experience, running is great for managing anxiety. And it's a great thing to do if you've had some difficulties with people, just to get a break. Do something where you're by yourself, in touch with your body, and over time you'll realize that, if you keep it up for years, you'll realize that the exercising is helping you out in social situations, in managing and improving your relationships with people. There's a resilience that you get. There's an extra bit of power. You feel like you're just in a better mood, more confident, more social, more open. Things you can handle more. Things feel easier. They feel like it's like you're more fluent, less choppy. Things flow more. So the value of being on an exercise journey that improves over time, starting with cardio, adding in strength training, is such a rewarding journey. And having that running at the same time as your social confidence journey, they're going to go hand in hand, help each other out, and it's just massive personal transformation. And anybody that's seriously committed to personal transformation and confidence, in my opinion, they really should go on this health and fitness journey, as well as going to socials, working on themselves, and have the two going parallel, hand in hand. Because they both help each other out. But the health and fitness is going to give you such a level of transferable confidence, and it's just going to make a world of a difference. You can use the energy of frustration, challenges, to motivate yourself for working on your health and fitness. So you're using that energy in a way to move your life forwards. And there's something powerful about that. It really tells yourself the message that whatever happens to me in life, I can find a way to grow in response to this. It's not reactivity, it's responding. Calm, conscious responding in a way that moves your life forwards. Preparing for the future, bit by bit, building yourself up over time, being patient, being okay with being a dark horse in life, taking your time. What's wrong with peaking a bit later in life? Why does there need to be a rush? Maybe you struggling with different kinds of dynamics and people is a blessing, because you're going to become such a master in this area that you're going to learn so much more than other people, nuances on a deeper level, and become this super skilled person later in life. I know when people are frustrated, what actually helps them is reminding them of patience. And this is also why I love the health and fitness journey, because it takes time. It conditions you to be patient, to get yourself into ideal shape, the shape that you want, the health and fitness that you want. It does take time. And I'm excited about the fact that later in the year, in October, competing in an exercise event called High Rocks, which is this CrossFit event doing it with a mate. So I've been exercising for years now, and it's made a huge difference to my life quality. Regular cardio, strength training. My goal isn't to be giant and bulky, it's functional fitness. To actually be super fit and healthy. And I'm on this journey, and it does take time, and I've made huge progress towards my goals. Still making progress bit by bit. The patience and calmness that I get from the exercise journey, it helps me out when there's a challenge in another area of life. So the message of this video is that when your love, your energy, what you're giving is not being reciprocated by someone, that's okay. You don't need to hate on that person. But you're totally entitled to exercise your right to kind-hearted detachment. Friendly and cordial with that person, but without investing. Because the relationship can't grow particularly far, there's no point in investing. It's already capped at where it is. And start to use the energy elsewhere. And you'll find that you're a lot less frustrated. And let those few difficult people be the teachers for how you can better deal with all difficult people years to come. Because there's always going to be difficult people in different areas of life. So you might as well learn how to deal with them now and thank yourself for years to come. If you're on this journey, building stronger boundaries with people, working on achieving more balanced relationships, feeling more confident in yourself. At the moment, I'm offering free taster one-to-one coaching sessions on a first come, first serve basis. So if you're curious about this, feel free to message me and I'll get in touch. Until next time, hope you have an amazing rest of your day.